It is 22 degrees Fahrenheit. We had a hard frost last night. Thank gosh. I couldn't really talk to the camera yesterday because we had 45-mile-an-hour winds and couldn't really hear anything. But what I'm doing is I'm much later than I planned putting the garden to bed this year, and we're just going to do a little bit each day because I am behind with lots of droopy plants in here. So hopefully we can get to working the soil before it completely freezes over. Yesterday I was filling up some tubs with wood chips. Oh, that's my compost, and that's some manure. So that way it would be easy to put some of the beds to sleep. So that's what we're going to start with today. Look at this. That nice frost on that lettuce. All right. So this bed, my strawberry bed, is 3 years old. You can see that it has sunk quite significantly. So the plan is to work on this bed today. I am going to take all of these berries out and kind of start over with this bed. So this one's going to be overwintered with just regular soil. So I'm going to add some spent soil to the top along with manure so that we can get a little more depth into this bed. This is the only one I have that hasn't been replenished after the first year that I filled it. So it's had a lot of settling, and because it had strawberries in it, I also didn't fluff up the soil in between because I was using the strawberries as perennials. So it was able to kind of get a little bit sunk quite a bit. It looks like we've got about almost half of the bed has sunk down, which is not surprising after 3 years and not topping it off with anything. So my cherry tomatoes were like super prolific this year. I probably could have got about 5 or 6 gallons of cherry tomatoes out of them. And I grow them in these wooden pots to help with like moisture. I couldn't figure out why they were growing so well this year. Just figured it out. Check this out. Okay, went to pull this pot up. Look. This root oh my god. Where does it go? It planted itself in the ground. No wonder she was so impressive. Look, she also came out here from this side and was planting herself in the ground. Oh my god, look at that. Right? What is that? Jurassic Park? Life finds a way? Oh, plants are so impressive. Look at that. She wanted to live. I know a lot of people don't use their spent soil from pots, but I find as long as I fertilize and get rid of any plants that might have diseases, I don't generally have an issue because it gets so cold that everything in those soil freezes over the winter. And this is the way I can make gardening more economical. You can see we got quite a bit more soil now in. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big thick layer of wood chips, and then we're going to clamp it down with chicken wire because of the damn squirrels. All right, there she is. Also, whoops, that broke apart. It's the third day of getting the garden buttoned up for winter. It's October 23rd. It's 44 this morning. We had another great hard frost last night, but I'm pretty behind today. My dog has been having some health problems, and so we spent the morning at a visit with the vet. So I don't have a lot of time today to do much. So we're gonna just try to tackle one bed. Let me show you. So here's the strawberry bed I did yesterday. And I would like to look at these really sad frozen peppers. I would like to go after these peppers today and get this arch down that held our squash and our cucumbers. There isn't a ton to do with this bed. This bed has been in great shape. I had onions and African marigolds in here, so I didn't have any pest problems. So I'm going to remove what is there, leave some roots, and just put just a little bit of manure on and top off with more wood chips to kind of protect the soil. And then we'll get it clamped down to protect from the squirrels. All right, got that one done. About 25 minutes. And I even found a carrot. It is 28 degrees and it's still a work day for me, but we have a little more time. So I'm gonna try to do 2 beds so that basically I have the west side of the garden completely covered. So I'm gonna show you, it shouldn't be too much to do, but I might need to replenish my wood chips and my manure. So this tall bed, which had peppers in it, you can see, they look so sad. And then at the end of the row, we have this third one here, or fourth one. This had my tomatoes in it. And it's got some volunteer onions that started as well. This bed back here, I actually did almost a month ago. This is my garlic bed, and I'll actually insert some footage of trying out garlic. I tried garlic last year and it didn't grow. So tried to learn a little bit more to see if I could make it work this year. So then we'll have this whole row done, and we'll be a third of the way to putting the garden to bed. I know you might see in the time lapses, I spend quite a bit of time making sure the chicken wire is really tight on the beds. And that is because this year I just really want to train the squirrels that they can't dig in the beds over the winter and put their walnuts and different things in the beds. It seems like really the only way to keep the squirrels out is to kind of get these tops on them and teach them this isn't a place to dig. And the squirrels are tricksy. They can get under, when they're determined enough, they'll get under the chicken wire. But I'm hoping because I'm doing this right when I'm turning over the beds, they'll be dissuaded from digging in them because they won't have put, you know, their walnuts and other charcuterie in the beds for the winter. All right, I had to go up and get more chicken wire from my pile because I didn't have the right amount. Oh shoot, I'm gonna get this down in there. So the whole row is done here. It looks so open without the towering plants I had in there. All right, so it's finally Saturday. So I have a little bit more time to do some of the beds. Not feeling the best, so I'm gonna probably like do one, then take a long break, do another one, take a long break. But I'd like to get some of the beds that are like really full that need a lot of turning over since I'm not working today. Let me show you one thing here before we get started. Last night I got home before it was dark. I got off work a little bit early. So I came and did this bed. It's the middle one here. It just had a big marigold in it. So I knew I could get it done in like 15 minutes or so. I'm going to get rid of all of this and take it down to soil just like I did with the other berry bed. But obviously there's a lot more growth and vitality in this one. I'm moving slow, but luckily the time lapse makes me look like I'm moving super duper fast. Oh guys, you see this? That was squirrels digging in there. This is beautiful. So it's about 4 o'clock, many hours later after doing that first bed that took forever. And we're gonna see what we can get done, but I need another load of wood chips and manure because I am not skimping on that with any of the beds this year since we have so much. So I'm not gonna film that because me walking and shoveling manure and wood chips, just use your imagination. Take 20 minutes to do that before trying to tackle any more beds. While I was doing that bed, I got to thinking that if the squirrels had dug in the one that had a lot of open space in it, they're gonna come back tonight and tomorrow morning and dig again. They're not digging in the other beds right now because the other beds have a lot of stuff in them and they don't dig where there's a lot of stuff growing already unless they can see that the soil has been recently disturbed. So I think my best bet is to get rid of my fall bed, which I'm a little sad about because I did want to see how long I could keep those carrots going, but I do have another set of carrots going in one of the east beds. So I'm gonna pull all of that and the lettuce. That's kind of sad, but that's okay because I mean, it is the end of October. So that whole row is done. Let's see what I dug up. Some decent sized carrots, some little guys too, and then a few, like the red Norland started producing again. I got one Charlotte, but a lot of these were growing, so I don't think you can eat those, but I'll Google it. Well, there we go. It's Sunday morning. It is 45 degrees outside. It did not It's hunting season. Deer season. Okay. Oh. Did not freeze last night, so it's a little rough being out here this morning. Okay, here's the plan. We've got the whole east side to do, and we're gonna start with the bed that's the most open because, again, most likely to have squirrels try to jump in it, and because of my allergies. So let's check it out. I'm feeling okay. So I want to do this one, and then I'm going to take a break. And one of the reasons I want to do it is there is a blackberry, and this blackberry has kept trying to plant itself into this bed. So I want to make sure that I can clear this out so that I have easier access to watch so the blackberry doesn't plant itself there. Okay, we needed a lot of manure because this bed has logs in the bottom of it, so it's constantly settling, and basically all the wood chips had disappeared. They'd probably blown off or something, so I needed a lot of wood chips for that bed as well. So we've got that one done, just these two left. I'm filling that, and then I am also right now, I have created quite a pile of things I've taken out of beds, strawberries, flowers, all of this stuff. And I'm gonna go take this to our wooded area. It's still day 6. It's just supposed to hit 60 here within the next hour. So I changed clothes because it's gonna get really hot. I know 60 isn't that hot, but I am a cold weather person. But one of the things that's so enjoyable about the gardening is just getting good produce all year round. So like today for lunch, I made a stir fry with hoikin noodles, and I used my zucchini, onions, and green beans that I had grown in this very garden. And maybe next year I'll get to be using my own garlic too that I grew. So that's why I do this. It's super fun. I think it's a really cool hobby. Okay, this bed looks like it's going to be a lot of work. All right, so in here I have asparagus, and why can't I remember the name of those? Hold on, let me think about that. Okay, so Martha Stewart said I need to cut these down to just a few inches above the soil line. And I need to, well, maybe I need to do a little higher because I need to compost up. So a little bit of it comes above. So let's go with, I don't know, 5 inches. I planted 2 different kinds of asparagus in this bed, a purple and I think Queen Victoria. And I haven't been getting a lot coming up, so haven't harvested any yet. The plan was after next year, so after 3 years, to try to harvest some. But this is all that grew up this year. So what I'm going to do over here, I still have carrots in here and I want to see how long they can go. So I'm going to take out, look at these Mexican sunflowers, are so sad. Take out the Mexican sunflowers and the kale. I'm going to leave the carrots so that I can like unclamp and pick them for as long as I can make them go. Anyway, that's the plan. The few things that are left to do aren't time sensitive, so I might just wait until it's really cold outside because I don't like working in the warmer weather. So here's the couple things I have left. This bed, I put it in this spring, but I didn't fill it. So I have been putting wood chips at the bottom. That cedar pot that broke, I put the wood in there, and then I've got stuff that can be composted. So leaves, there's some lettuce, that sort of thing. Oh no, there's a piece of kale. That can't go in there. Don't compost your cabbage stuff. And I'm going to fill that up with a bunch of wood chips. And I'm going to dump in my extra soil from here and these pots into there along with manure. And it won't be all the way full. It'll just get that stuff out of there so that in the spring I can add topsoil, compost and stuff, and then I can start using this bed. I also just need to pick up all this stuff I took out of these beds. There and over there in my wagon and move it there. So it is out of the way.